Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand Shuddha Bhagwan, all of you.
Sachidanand.
Devdasi,
Jai
Reinhold, Anila, Elena, Marcella, and Patricia. Wonderful group. Even wonderful group for satsang. So.
Hermoso grupo para satsang. Yes, thank you. And
Yeah,
you.
yeah. The satsang, with Dada, when you are with Dada, you forget even who is around you. Dada has a way of just pulling you and I just to him, you say. All right.
Cuando estamos en satsang, no hay nadie alrededor nuestro porque nada nos lleva a él.
All right, so let us begin, Marcella, with the three mantra.
3 times?
Yes, whatever you like. 3 times, 2 times, 1 time, doesn't matter.
Namo Vitragai, Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Vasayanam, Namo Loesavasahunam, Eso pancha namukaro, Sarvapavapanasano, Mangalanam cha savesim, Paramam havai mangalam, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevai, Om Namah Shivai, Jai Satchitanand, Namo Vitragai, Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Vasayanam, Namo Loesavasahunam, Eso pancha namukaro, Sarvapavapanasano, Mangalanam cha savesim, Paramam havai mangalam, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevai, Om Namah Shivai, Jai Satchitanand, Namo Vitragai, Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Vasayanam, Namo Loesavasahunam, Eso pancha namukaro, Sauvapavapanasano, Mangalanam cha savesim, Paramam havai mangalam, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevai, Om Namah Shivai, Jai Satchitanand, Jai Satchitanand, Jai Satchitanand.
Wonderful. Jai Sachidanand. Okay. So we continue, and
in the break, the last satsang, we start in page 40.
Okay. All right. So page 40, did you say?
Yes.
This one here, right? Can you see it?
Yes, yes.
All right. Is the size enough, or you want to increase it? It's good enough?
It's okay. Yes,
Good.
yes.
It's okay.
When you interfere with others, you will be the first one to fall victim to to interference. Therefore, become so straightforward that you do not cause even the slightest interference to anyone. Then no one will interfere with you. This is what I had practiced from the very beginning.
Cuando interfieres con los demás, tú serás la primera víctima de las interferencias. Por lo tanto, vuélvete tan sencillo que no causes ni la más mínima interferencia a nadie. Entonces nadie interferirá contigo. Esto es lo que yo he practicado desde el principio.
Questioner, we have to remain in worldly interactions, dejar, so adjustment should not be one-sided, should they? Yes.
El interlocutor, nosotros tenemos que permanecer en las interacciones mundanas, por lo que los ajustes no deben ser unilaterales, ¿verdad?
Now, Dadashri is saying that worldly interactions are those in which one adjusts. In other words, this is called the ideal or the good worldly interaction. It is indeed with those whom you do not get along well with that you need to develop the strength, the energy to adjust. With those whom you get along with, the energy already exists. To not get along is actually a weakness.
Dada dice que las interacciones mundanas son aquellas en las que uno no se adapta. De hecho, es con aquellos con los que no te llevas bien, con los que necesitas desarrollar la fuerza para adaptarte. Con aquellos con los que te llevas bien, la fuerza ya existe. No llevarse bien es una realidad de no adaptabilidad.
Why do I get along with everyone? Strength, inner energies. This strength is inner energy, not physical strength. Inner strength, spiritual strength increases, and weaknesses, kashais, break according to the number of adjustments one takes. Real understanding, samadja with an S capital, samadja, S-A-M-A-J, will only set in once all wrong understanding is locked out.
¿Por qué me llevo bien con todo el mundo? La fuerza aumenta y las habilidades se rompen, según el número de ajustes que uno haga. La verdadera comprensión solo se establecerá una vez que se haya bloqueado toda comprensión errónea.
Everyone adjusts with people who are soft, but one is able to adjust with obstinate, strong, strict, and all sorts of people. That is when his work will be accomplished. No matter how unscrupulous, horrible a man may be, if you know how to adjust without losing your temper, then that is what matters.
Todo el mundo se adapta con las personas que son blandas, pero cuando uno es capaz de adaptarse a personas obstinadas, fuertes, estrictas y todo tipo, es cuando su trabajo estará realizado. No importa la inescrupulosa que sea una persona. Si sabes adaptarte sin perder los estribos, eso es lo que importa.
It will not do if you get upset. If you get upset, it won't work. Nothing in this world will fit to you. It will adjust to you. However, if you fit to it, then fit, adjust, then the world is good. Whereas if you make it fit to you, then this world will be obstinate, crooked. So adjust everywhere. If you fit to it, if you fit to it, then there is no problem.
Tú no servirás de nada si te enojas. Nada en este mundo encajará o se adaptará a ti. Sin embargo, si tú te adaptas a él, entonces este mundo es bueno, es bueno. Y mientras que sí se hace la adaptación a ti, entonces este mundo, mientras que sí haces que se ajuste a ti o se adapte a ti, entonces el mundo será obstinado. Entonces adaptarte en todas partes es si te adaptas a él, entonces no hay problemas.
If someone tries to misadjust with you, you should adjust with him. People refer to those who do not know how to take adjustments as being a fool. In all these matters where this truth is relative, all of this truth is relative, there is no need for insistence or stubbornness whatsoever, you see. No need for insistence or stubbornness, because this is relative. Who can be referred to as human? As a human, the one who is everywhere adjustable. If you were to adjust to the other person in every aspect, then things would become very smooth and straightforward.
Si alguien intenta, please go a little up there. Si alguien intenta desajustarse contigo, debes ajustarte tú a él. La gente llama necios a quienes no saben adaptarse. Es en asuntos en los que la verdad es relativa y no hay necesidad de insistir, ni de obstinarse en absoluto. ¿A quién se le puede llamar humano? Al que es adaptable en todas partes. Si te adaptas a otra persona en todos los aspectos, las cosas serían tan sencillas.
Questioner. Dada, the world is obstinate. If we act with straightforwardness, according to our nature, then we will be considered a fool. So, should we abandon being straightforward and become obstinate, or should we accept being called a fool?
Ya le preguntan, el interlocutor, el mundo es obstinado. Si actuamos con sencillez, de acuerdo con nuestra naturaleza, entonces seremos considerados unos necios. Entonces, ¿debemos dejar de ser rectos, de volvernos obstinados, o debemos aceptar que nos llamen necios?
And so Dadashri says, actually, it is such that straightforwardness, being straightforward, not crooked, not resistance, not being difficult with other people, arises. This word is called sararata, sararda, S-A-R-A-D. Sarad means smooth, natural, easily adjusting, without any kapat. Sararta, S-A-R-A-D, sararta. Actually, it is such that sararta or straightforwardness arises when one has accumulated earnings of many lifetimes. If an obstinate person is striving to make you lose what you have earned, then would you let it happen? Would you let that happen? If you lose what you have earned over many lifetimes, then you will become obstinate. Then what will remain with you? You will have lost all your earnings. You will be bankrupt.
El interlocutor, Dada dice, En realidad, la sencillez surge cuando uno ha acumulado ganancias de muchas vidas. Si una persona obstinada se esfuerza en hacerte perder todo lo que has ganado, ¿dejarías que eso ocurriese? Si pierdes lo que has ganado, tú también te volverás obstinado. ¿Qué te quedará entonces? Tú habrás perdido todas las ganancias de tus vidas anteriores y estarás en bancarrota.
If you want to attain moksha, then become smooth, straightforward like a child. A child remains straightforward without understanding, while the Gnani Purush, does it with understanding. That is the only difference. Both are childlike and innocent. A child does not understand, yet his worldly life keeps running, does it not? On the contrary, it runs very well. In fact, as he gains understanding, his worldly life gets worse. That is why the Gnani Purush is straightforward like a child.
Si quieres obtener moksha, vuélvete sencillo como un niño. Un niño permanece sencillo, sin comprensión, mientras que Gnani Purush, aquel que tiene la conciencia del ser y es capaz de hacer lo mismo por los demás, lo hace con comprensión. Esa es la única diferencia. Ambos son infantiles e inocentes. Un niño no comprende, pero su vida mundana sigue funcionando. ¿No es así? Es más, funciona muy bien. De hecho, a medida que adquiere comprensión, su vida mundana empeora. Por eso, el Gnani Purush es sencillo como un niño.
Questioner, Dada, you were straightforward from the beginning. Is that why you don't interfere with anyone? Dadashri, when you interfere with others, you will be the first to fall victim to interference. Therefore, become so straightforward, smooth, that you do not cause even the slightest interference to anyone. Then no one will interfere with you. This is what I had practiced from the very beginning. That is because by interfering, we will become the victim of interference.
Le preguntan a Dada, usted Dada fue sencillo desde el principio, por eso no interfiere con nadie. Y Dada contesta, cuando interfieres con los demás, tú serás la primera víctima de la interferencia. Por lo tanto, vuélvete sencillo, no causes ni la más mínima interferencia a nadie. Entonces nadie interferirá contigo. Eso es lo que he practicado desde el principio. Nosotros, oh please, a little bit up. Here, there. Por lo tanto, vuélvete tan sencillo que no causes ni la más mínima interferencia a nadie. Entonces nadie interferirá contigo. Eso es lo que he practicado desde el principio. Nosotros nos convertimos en víctimas de las interferencias.
The Gnani will adjust to the other person even if that person is obstinate, stubborn. If one were to observe the Gnani Purush and then conduct himself, then he will know how to make all kinds of adjustments. The science behind this says, become vitarag. Do not engage in attachment abhorrence. It is, in fact, because of some kind of weakness that remains within Kashai that one suffers a beating, you see. In worldly interactions, vyavhar, those who have become completely indifferent, this is a totally different sentence. Completely indifferent, in other words, are referred to as obstinate. This is this Dadashri is saying is people who have, I don't want to be around any people. I want to go away. I want to live by myself. I don't like, don't give me money. Don't give me home. I'm just going to, in other words, they have rejected what is in front of them, you see. Forced renunciation. This is an obstinacy. This is an obstinacy. Go on.
El Gnani se adaptará a la otra persona, aunque esa sea obstinada. Si uno observa al Gnani Purush y luego se comportará, sabría cómo hacer todo tipo de ajustes. La ciencia detrás de esto dice: vuélvete evitará. No te involucres en el apego u aversión. Es de hecho debido a algún tipo de debilidad que permanece en el interior que uno sufre un golpe. En las interacciones mundanas, aquellos que se han vuelto completamente indiferentes son llamados obstinados. ¿No? Completamente indiferentes es, no quiero estar con nadie, no me de nada, no quiero un techo, rechazan absolutamente todo lo que tienen adelante.
So, this entire subsection, this entire is from the book, the little book of Adjust Everywhere, you see. And many years ago, at least 10 years ago, the Gnani, our Deepak Pai, did a parayan on this little book while he was in East Africa, in Kenya, you see. And, this little book is, as often as you read, it's easy to carry around. It's only as small as the Charan Vidhi. And you will be, the Ada within, inside you will tell you, listen, this is what you need to do if you want to get liberated in this world. The world will not leave you. The world will continue to block you. You need to adjust wherever the world blocks you, wherever the world causes any kind of problem. You can't wait and see, hey, who did this? But I didn't do anything. None of this. Just adjust. There is no, in this relative world, to hang on to relative world. The truths of the relative world is equivalent to taking a beating. You will get beaten down. You cannot insist on your truth, my truth in this relative world.
Dice que Sarad quiere decir que alguien que sea suavemente adaptable. Y hay hace 10 años atrás, nuestro querido Gnani Deepak Pai en África, en Kenia, habló de este libro de Ajustate en todos lados. Es un libro pequeño, es fácil de llevar, pero es la palabra de Dada que te guía. Que te guía, ¿no? Y el mundo no te dejará en paz si no te adaptas, porque vas a estar preguntando si no quién lo hizo, o cómo es que sucedió. Y lo único que tienes que hacer es solo adaptarte. Este mundo relativo, va a estar golpeándote, si no te adaptas.
You see this. This interfering. Interfering with others, it can only happen in the relative. This whole entire chapter is got nothing to do with the Amapura. You see, the Amapuras never interferes. The Amapura that you and I are never interfere, and the Amapura that exists. The moment you come into any one of you and I come into any agna, there is no interference. When you are in the agna, there is no interference. But when you become Anila, when you become Marcella, then there is interference. Yes, Marcella. Marcella.
May I translate this,
Yes,
please,
yeah, yeah.
first? Sorry. Interferir en lo relativo, ¿no? No tiene nada que ver con el alma pura, ¿no? El alma pura de ninguna manera interfiere y cuando estamos en las agnas tampoco hay interferencia. Thank you, Shuddha.
Yes,
Sí,
Marcela.
es con respecto a la interferencia. Cuando alguien se nos acerca y nos pide un consejo, ¿cómo debemos actuar? Porque cualquier consejo que demos es una interferencia.
Bárbaro. Marcel is asking, when somebody comes and asks for some kind of, no me acuerdo cómo se dice, consejo, an advisement, we are interfering with that person when we give our opinion about what they are asking for.
You are interfering if you believe that you are speaking.
Dice que interfieres si crees que estás hablando.
Yeah, because you are interfering if you believe that you are giving the advice and the other person is asking you the question. You see, the other person who has come to you for some advice is coming to Marcella, not to you. And so see what happens. See whether she see what happens inside Marcella. Marcella feels pleased. Oh, she came to me. I am something. I know something. You see, those things, if they arise, then the interference is happening inside, you see. But if you just give the answer and help her naturally, if Marcella does, then it is not interference. You see, interference, therefore, is if you are disturbed inside with either elation, I feel good, she asked me something, or when she doesn't follow your advice, then you feel depressed. Oh, I'm not going to tell her anything. She comes to me, but then she doesn't listen to what I'm saying. All of these things are interferences. Go on.
Bueno, la interferencia es cuando crees que eres tú la que habla, cuando alguien viene a pedirte un consejo. La pregunta se la están haciendo a Marcela, ¿no? Hay que ver qué es lo que sucede a Marcela dentro de ella. Dice, hoy me están previniendo a consultar, yo soy alguien. Pero si tú lo haces, si Marcela lo hace así libremente, sin quedarse con ninguna cuestión de yo soy alguien, soy importante, me vino a preguntar, y le respondes la pregunta que te hizo, está todo bien. No, no es una interferencia.
Yeah.
Thank you.
When somebody comes to you, it's a good question what you're saying. Somebody comes to you and says, Marcella, I need some help. All right. Human beings automatically feel good. Oh, I want to help him, but I want to help him belongs to Marcella. Marcella is saying, I'd like to help him. And then you need to be aware that there are times when Marcella just doesn't feel like helping anybody. Leave me alone. I just don't come to me. You see, both are the games in duality that happen to Marcella or to Shuddha or to Patricia, to all of us now and then. So the best answer is, exactly uh, to yeah, to see what happens. Seeing means you will now see so many things, you know. You will see that Marcella, because of her abilities and her maturity in life, with her experiences, you know, is able to give and guide another human being, because Marcella really doesn't want anything out of that other human being. She just likes to help, you know. So that's fine. It's a seva bhav. It's a view of helping the other human being, you see. And you know, in a way that is to be encouraged, but seeing what is happening is more important, you know. And in the seeing, you will not skip from really listening to this human being in terms of what she or he is trying to say. Sorry, go on. Yeah, go on, go on.
Ok. Eh, mm, por ejemplo, si alguien viene y le dice a Marcela, le pide a Marcela que por favor la ayude, lo importante es poder ver, ¿no? Marcela puede ayudar porque tiene experiencia, tiene habilidades, y Marcela se siente bien. A veces por ahí Marcela no se siente bien y no quiere que la molesten. Pero la mejor respuesta, la respuesta perfecta es ver, suceder, qué es lo que está pasando. Y Marcela puede ayudar perfectamente, porque ella no quiere nada, solamente está ayudando a otro ser humano. Y ver qué es lo que pasa es lo más importante.
Yeah, you see, um, there is a phrase called Sahaj Bhave. Sahaj Bhave. Sahaj means natural, and Bhav is view. If you are Amapura, then you see what you see is different than when you are Marcella, you see. So Marcella's view is always subject to rag, you know, not rag dvesh, but like dislike. Rag dvesh is gone after the Gnan Vidhi, but still you, Marcella likes if somebody asks her any question or asks her for help. Marcella does not like it when people ignore her. You see, I'm here, nobody cares, I have so much experience. All of those things are, you know, a little bit of an aversion. So both are deep valleys, you know. They don't let you remain in equanimity. So on the other hand, so the word sahaj bhave, without rag dvesh, you see, without rag dvesh, attachment, aversion, uh, it doesn't matter, you know. Marcella did you see Marcella offering help? But she offered the help, and then there is no further attention to it. It's gone, it's over, another file, you see. So it, is she going to follow my advice? Did she do it or not? You see, all of those things are in a sense, in a very subtle sense, leading to interference, you see.
Ujú. Em,
Sahaj,
Sahatva,
Sahaj, Sahaja, Sahaja.
Sahaja,
Uh-huh.
es natural y Bhav es tú, ¿no? Y todo esto es sin apego y una aversión. Nosotros ya con el Gnan nos hemos liberado del apego y la aversión, pero sí está el me gusta o el no me gusta. Entonces puede ser que se acerque una persona y le pregunte a Marcela algo, o le pida su ayuda, y a Marcela le va a gustar, o si, y si te ignoran, puede ser que no te guste. pero ahí es donde se pierde la ecuanimidad. Pero
Mm.
Marcela ofrece su ayuda y después que termina de dar la ayuda se retira y pone su atención en otra cosa. No queda con apego ni aversión.
Yeah, for people who walk and do climbing mountains, um, or even this, or even the professional soccer players, if you see their shoes, their shoes are not smooth at the bottom. They have got, you know, projections. They have got projections,
Yeah,
especially
sí,
those,
sí.
the mountain climbers, they have almost got very sharp uh, things projecting
To
out of the
stick in,
soles.
to
Yeah, so,
stick, yes, and yeah,
yes, yes, yes.
I understand. Dice, por ejemplo, para las personas que escalan o que juegan al fútbol, o sus zapatos o botines tienen como pequeños tapones, para los que escalan son como más afilados para poder clavarse en la tierra, y los de los jugadores también tienen para poder aferrarse a la tierra, al pasto.
Yeah. You have to think of ego in the same way. Yes. When you say, when you feel, why didn't she ask me? Why didn't they even call me? They don't appreciate me. All of these things are egos with those kind of shoes. You see, it wants to make you remain as Marcella. So Marcella, I am something. You see, I know
Ujú.
something. Those are the spikes of the shoes. You see, then those smooth shoes will have to become so smooth, the soles, that it doesn't stick anywhere, and you just slide along, amidst all of this difficult files that come. Slide.
Bueno, estos zapatos así con esas puntas o con esos tapones, es lo que hace que permanecer, eh, en este ejemplo a Marcela, ¿no? En dónde está, y para no quedarse pegada hay que usar zapatos más livianos, ¿no? Donde puedas irte y puedas deslizarte y no quedarte allí pegada.
Yeah. So this, when the other speaks of this, when you interfere with someone, uh, no, sorry, I gave you the wrong page. Stop sharing this. When you interfere with someone, actually what you're doing is, uh, you're the first victim of the interference. You see, you are the first victim of the interference. In other words, first to fall, victim to interference. Now, in this interference is given a this Dako, resulting in the result of the Dako called Dakal. In other words, it doesn't just end in the interference. It stirs up something in the other person, and then in the third person, and in the fourth person. So this, but now you are left with a sticky shoe, a spiky shoe of the ego. Now yeah, you're the first victim because you entered into it, you see. And now you entered into it because when you interfere, you are interfering because of so many reasons. But the most important reason for we Mahatmas is that we have slipped from these magnificent, grand agnas of the Ada, you see. We have slipped from there.
Ujú. Dice que cuando interfieres con alguien, lo primero que haces, Dada dice, ¿no? Que lo primero que haces es ser víctima de esta interferencia. Terminas, la interferencia no termina en ti, eso es como que se va pasando a otras personas. Para no terminar con estos zapatos así que te pegan a esa situación, para salir lo único son las acnas.
You know, this question that our dear Marcella has asked is relates to the understanding of interference. You see, when you know that you're going to be the first victim, then you will begin to become very careful the next time you interfere. Now, what does it mean? You will become more and more careful that, oh Dada, Dada, oh my dearest Dada, oh my Lord, I just missed your agnas. I just missed your agnas. You know, I became Shuddha or I became Patricia, you know. That is where you need to catch it.
Mm.
Mhm.
Esto de interferir, que dice Dada, ¿no? De transformarnos en la primer víctima y saber que esto sucede porque nos hemos salido de las agnas, ¿no? Lo primero que hay que decir, oh Dada, oh, amado Dada, por favor, me he salido de las agnas.
Yeah, the world is what it is, you see. The worldly interactions will continue where there will be lots and lots of interference. In the sea, in the ocean of interference.
En este mundo va a haber muchas interferencias, es un océano de interferencias.
He said this, she said this, everywhere. You're doing this wrong. All of these things. Where are you concerned? You're not to look at, you're not to pay so much importance and attention to the relative world. No, don't pay so much attention to the relative world. Everything has to be in the dual view. The world is the puzzle. It will make you fall into, as a victim, as a puzzle. And there are two viewpoints. Keeping these two viewpoints, your ship, your flight will go beautifully. Amapura, Amapura, Amapura. Even a difficult man, even a horrible man, okay, comes in front of you. This view is the only one that will lift you up. You know, ich bin reine Seele, I am the pure one, I am the blissful one. He too is the blissful one. This is the interaction now that is coming to him and I together, both of us, as an unfolding event, as an unfolding karma, you see.
Ujú. Dice que cuando tú interfieres, la forma de interferir es tú hiciste esto, tú hiciste lo otro, y esto sucede todo el tiempo, ¿no? Como que viene de todos lados. Y no hay que interferir con nadie, es solamente ver que la otra persona también es alma pura y que todo está sucediendo por algo. Eh, y I've lost.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. You know, he's a pure soul. This is his relative.
Tú eres alma pura y todo esto es relativo, ¿no?
You
Y
know,
estar
and his relative interaction result is now in front of us, in front of me and in him or her. It is nothing new. And I need to see it as it is, but to see it as it is, you have to be in the agnas, you see.
Ujú.
Mm.
Las cosas se van a ir presentando y todo lo que suceda, que venga frente a ti, ese es lo que tiene que suceder, pero no interfieras,
Mhm.
no interfieras.
Yeah. This is a stage. This is step by step. Interference means this is happening to me. Oh, I shouldn't have said this. I should have treated this person better. It's over. I was rude. All of those things are interference. You know, I was rude. I was not courteous. I was not nice to him. Not you, Nanila or Marcella or Shuddha was not nice to him. Not you. This awareness is the only thing that is going to help us all. You say this awareness, it is this, you know. It is Reinhold who became upset, or not I. I didn't become upset, you see.
Esto es un paso a paso, ¿no? Y es la creencia de que esto me pasó a mí, o fui rudo con tal persona, o no fui una buena persona con tal situación. Pero todo esto tiene que ver con lo relativo, esto no fui yo. Y esto es lo único, esta conciencia es lo único que nos puede liberar, saber que son los File One los que están haciendo esto,
You
no
know,
yo.
this this word dakho, is really the manifestation, is the sign of the intellect arising with reference to another human being. You are any opinion about the other human being is associated with is associated potentially with interference, because the opinion, positive opinions is not a problem. Negative opinions is the reason why interference had happened in the last life and still will happen after the Gnan Vidhi. And this is where you and I need to be very aware, to be aware that this is not something new. This this thing is ours that is coming in front of us, you see.
Ujú. Daco es la manifestación de las opiniones que tenemos con respecto a otros seres humanos, ¿no? Pero son las opiniones negativas, estas son las que generan la interferencia.
Yes, yes. So, and this the next thing is important, because Dadashri says, this man says, oh, why do I have to adjust all the time? My mother-in-law never adjusts. Why do I have to adjust? Or this man is so difficult to live with. I'm making all the adjustments. He just sits there. He doesn't do anything. All of those things. Ultimately, who is the first victim when a woman complains, my man, my husband, my companion doesn't do anything? I have to
Sí.
do everything. Then who is the first one to fall victim? She herself, you see, because she is the
Ujú,
one who complained. She falls victim to her own interference.
ujú.
Mhm.
Por ejemplo, dice, mi suegra es una mujer difícil, no se adapta, y muchas cosas, o mi marido no me apoya, no está, no hace nada. ¿Quién es la primera persona que cae, la que está, diciendo estas cosas? Es la primera víctima.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Now, rather then comes to, a man or a woman who continues to complain about other human beings. He's like this. The first thing that the conversation begins with, whenever a certain human being is being discussed, is there are some human beings, some friends of ours, who will immediately begin with a negative opinion, negative statement about that person. He's like this, he's like that. Now, this shows that this man who is complaining, this woman who is
Do
complaining, this woman who is,
you
sorry.
drink a little water, please, Shuddha?
So this shows that this person who is complaining is very weak, very weak. What is he exhibiting? He, by giving negative statements about other human beings or finding faults with other human beings, there is an implied sense that I am something and I know better, you see, and that is directly feeding the pride and the ego. The ego is being fed with the pride getting fatter, you see, the pride gets fatter, F-A-T. And and by doing this, repeatedly, that person becomes very weak spiritually, is not able to really remain in agnas, is not able to follow agnas. Mhm.
Ujú. Cuando una persona se queja, ¿no? Todo el tiempo tiene opiniones o encuentra opiniones negativas. ¿Qué es lo que está mostrando? Es que esta persona es débil. Y entonces, ¿qué es lo que tiene ahí el orgullo afectado y surge el ego? Es una persona que tiene una debilidad espiritual que apenas puede mantenerse en las acnas.
Mhm, mhm. It is very beautiful to see the Gnani adjust. I have seen Niruma, who has visited the poorest villages. I've been with her, you see, where there is not even a chair to sit. Yeah, she'll sit on the bed or she will sit on the floor. And there is no carpet on the floor. And fill those people with so much love. Just, and the same if she went into the home of a very rich man, there is the same kind of equanimity filled love filled equanimity in her, you see. When we see this in her or in Dada, it is absolutely amazing. We learn by seeing, you see.
Ujú. Yes. Pues, no hay nada más hermoso que ver a Gnani adaptándose. Y recuerda Shuddha que Niruma iba a la casa de las personas más pobres que ni siquiera tenían una silla o una cama o una alfombra para que ella se siente. Ella se sentaba en el piso y a sentir el amor entre de todas estas personas.
Mm.
O también iba a la casa de un hombre rico. El amor era exactamente el mismo, con total ecuanimidad. Este, es hermoso.
With we now hear such beautiful things about our dear Papa, the Pope that has left this world now, you see, and all his real care and love for the poor, the sick, and the underprivileged human beings of this world of ours, Mhm.
Acá
We,
podemos ver al... No,
Mhm.
continue, continue,
Yeah, you
continue.
go on. Mhm.
Podemos ver también que el Papa, ¿no? Que dejó este mundo, todo el amor que le dejó a los pobres, a los enfermos y las personas eh, débiles, ¿no?
Yeah, his repeated plea for avoiding wars and human destruction and exploitation of other human beings, you see. He was pretty open about it wherever he went, you see.
Ujú. Él fue un hombre que repitió mucho, para que no haya destrucción, explotación entre los seres humanos. Fue un hombre de mente abierta.
Yeah. And it's kind of it's a way of the world that when a human being is living, they do not really appreciate him. But after he is gone, when he dies, then the whole world comes out with saying, "Oh, what a great human being! What a great human being!" You see. Mhm.
Ujú. Las personas ni siquiera le prestaban atención a todas las cosas que él decía o hacía y ahora una vez que se murió dicen, oh, qué buena persona, qué grande todo lo que dijo,
Yeah, he
sin
was,
poder apreciar cuando estaba ahí en el momento.
and he was not perfect, but there is no perfection in the relative in this Kali Yuga. Nobody can be a perfect human being. You see. Hmm?
Ujú. Que no hay ninguna persona que sea perfecta, o sea, él no era perfecto y no hay personas perfectas en esta era de Kali Yuga.
Yeah, but this this position of his, where he was able to really speak to millions, and I was told that I learned that once when he was in the Philippines, there were 3 million people, 3 million people listening to him. You see.
Él en su posición le hablaba a millones de personas y cuando estuvo en Filipinas le habló a 3 millones de personas.
Yeah. And so this is the product. You see, this is the result of so many lifetimes after lifetimes of really wanting to help humanity. You see, Jagat Kalyan, to help humanity. They help the poor, the sick, the needy, to be to be humble, to become poorer than the poorest, you see.
Ujú. Yes, después de miles de vidas, él pudo venir y ocuparse de los pobres, de los enfermos, de los necesitados y hacerlo con humildad.
You know, he 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 kissed the feet of the prisoners in the prison. You see, this is all symbolizing and teaching human beings that see, appreciate the beauty of the one who is living in front of you. That you know somehow the message is very clear that there is much more to a human being than his flesh and his actions. You see, there is something magnificent within every human being that arises and that can be nurtured with love and compassion. Mhm.
Yes. Él besó los pies de los prisioneros y esto es como una enseñanza, ¿no? De poder mostrar de que hay mucho más que carne y acciones en la vida y eso lo que muestra es el amor y la compasión.
Mhm. So for our dear Papa, okay, for the world, the Papa of the world, of the millions, okay, who has now gone further, all right, gone further. We offer one three mantra, and who will sing this three mantra once for this Papa, for his, so that all obstructions were in his new level of existence.
Ujú,
you know is go ahead so that he may continue to fulfill his mission of helping humanity. See?
ujú. Vamos en este mundo, en este Papa que está más allá que ahora, vamos a rezar un trimantra para que pueda seguir evolucionando y que vaya más todavía elevado para poder que vuelva y seguir ayudando a las personas. ¿Quién quiere
So
cantar un trimantra? O lo
uh,
vamos a. Are we going to sing everyone together, together or one person?
one person, because otherwise the sound doesn't come out properly, like
Okay, que uno solo sea el que
when a
cante el
person is
trimantra.
singing, one person, we are meditating with that three mantra, you see, so we are
Yes.
mm.
Uno canta y todos los demás
Okay, all right.
acompañamos en silencio.
And Neela for Papa.
Dile canta para el Papa.
Namo Nitadagai, Namo Adihantanam, Namo Sistanam, Namo Ayarianam, Namo Vatsayanam, Namo Loestafatahunam, Eso Pancha Namukaro, Sauvapa Vapanasrano Mangalanam Sawasavitin Palaman Havan Mangalam Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namah Shivaya Jai Satchitanand Jai
Thank you.
Satchitanand.
Jai Satchitanand Shuddhatma Bhagavan. So, the good, all the good that is there in this world, and there is a lot. Do not let the world tell you that the world is horrible. The world is our own mirror, you see, and whatever arises is our own in front of us. So, if you have, if your chit is joyous, filled with joy, prasanna chitta, see, you see beauty everywhere. And so it's all in the vision, it's all how you see it, how you see it.
Yes. Dice, todo el bien en el mundo, y hay mucho bien, es como un espejo. Y si tu chit está lleno de dicha, ves, lo bello en todo. Y eso es como eres, esa es tu proyección.
This is a very, very powerful sentence. It is indeed with those whom you do not get along that you need to develop the energy, you see, within to adjust, you see.
Ujú. Dice que, sorry, dice my screen is broken, so that's why I don't read very well. No, there. Nosotros tenemos que permanecer en las interacciones mundanas, por lo que los ajustes no deben ser unilaterales. Y Dada dice, la interacción mundana son aquellos en las que uno se adapta. De hecho, es con aquellos con los que no te llevas bien, con los que necesitas desarrollar la fuerza interior para poder adaptarte. Con aquellos con los que te llevas bien, la fuerza ya existe. No llevarse bien no llevarse bien es una realidad, es una señal de debilidad.
Yeah, well, yes, this, you see, this when somebody who is difficult to get along with, you're saying, that person, until he or she is in front of you, it's really not a file in the true sense. But you see, somebody will say, okay, now I'm assigning the rooms and you are going to share the room with that person, you see. Now, now immediately, that is the signal for you to realize that this is where I need to develop my energies, you see. And my energies to see my mistakes. Now it's a file. He's going to she's going to sleep in her bed. I'm going to sleep in my bed. We are both going to go down to have some food and then listen to satsang or to the conference. The point is that this is an opportunity to develop the uh, inner spiritual energies, the inner energies to really kind of clear all the disadjustments that are a carryover from the last life, you see, with this particular individual, you see. It is not an accident that that person is coming in front of you, you see.
De hecho, esto de las, no, por ejemplo, una persona que es difícil, ¿no? Pero hasta que esa persona no se pone delante nuestro, no es un file, ¿no? Está ahí. Pero, por ejemplo, vamos de viaje y toca compartir la habitación con alguna persona y bueno, esa es la oportunidad para poder desarrollar nuestra adaptación, nuestras energías. No es que la otra persona tenga un problema, es mirar a Patricia, por ejemplo, en qué está teniendo opiniones para poder adaptarse y terminar con esto.
See, this Dadashri says, real understanding will only come in once all the wrong understanding is locked out, blocked, completely thrown out. What is the wrong understanding? Uh, wrong understanding is what leads to all the faults, which wrong understanding is what has led to all the faults of the intellect, all the blaming of other human beings, all the disadjustments that have happened, all the fights that have happened. You see, it's the wrong understanding. The real understanding is he or she is a pure soul like I am. That is the ultimate beginning of the real understanding. Ich bin reine Seele, Shuddhatma Chu, you see. And the Shuddhatma only will come in front of you. Once the Shuddhatma, the pure soul, has left, just like it did in Papa, he is never going to come in front of you, and you will never going to have the opportunity to see him live again, you see.
Ujú,
So, what happened? The Shuddhatma, the pure soul left, and his body, people are mourning for next 5 days or 4 days, okay, all over the world, whereas they should be celebrating. He was able to accomplish so much, you see, but they don't have the understanding of this. So that is how it is, you know.
ujú. Este, pues todos ¿qué es la ignorancia, ¿no? ¿Dónde está la falta, ¿no? Y es eh, poder ver todos los desajustes, las peleas internas, todo lo que hemos tenido. Y el conocimiento real es que él o ella son alma pura, es como yo soy alma pura. Y ese es el más elevado conocimiento, ¿no? Shuddhatma. Y
Mhm.
así estamos despidiendo al Papa, ¿no? Como el Shuddhatma se ha retirado. Y toda la gente va a mantener el luto por 4 o 5 días, pero no tiene el conocimiento de que ese alma se fue
Mhm.
y que va a volver.
Yeah. Yeah. This, uh, so, taking relative adjustments and increasing inner strength is, uh, is something that our Gnani Dada realized that it is becoming very, very difficult for human beings of Kali Yuga, you see, uh, because of the situation that they find themselves in. Every human being is struggling, they're fighting hard, this and that. So what is the solution? So he says, the solution gives the right and real understanding, not a relative understanding. It's impossible to understand what is happening in the relative, why it's happening, you see. Why is everybody so angry with each other and not, stop trading with each other? Or why so many, there is no answer. The answer is that is how it is. The answer is, real understanding is lacking. Real understanding only is begins after you understand who am I in all of this. Who am I in all of this?
Yes, en lo relativo, los ajustes y la fuerza interna es difícil en esta era de Kali Yuga, ¿no? Porque las situaciones de pelea, y de conflictos que se viven, ¿no? La única solución verdadera es el entendimiento, el real y verdadero, porque las personas se preguntan por qué sucede esto, por qué hay tanto enojo, por qué la pelea, pero esta no es la respuesta. La única respuesta es que la falta de real entendimiento. El real entendimiento es quién soy yo en todo esto.
Mhm, mhm. The you see the it's easy to adjust with people who are smooth, nice, they get along, agreeable, etc. Don't fight. Very difficult to adjust with obstinate, strong, and very difficult people, you see, That is where this ability to adjust with such human beings means your energy, there is something special that has arisen within you or I that is beyond, that is now, that is beyond this relative, you see. The ordinary human being, you're almost like Jesus, you see, or even when you're mistreated, when you're in front of the most obnoxious people, you see. Unscrupulous is a very mild word here. Dada has used nagama nago, in other words, the most shamelessly naked, nakedly shameless human being has got zero shame, and he continues to hurt. Such kind of human beings may be, but if you know how to adjust without losing your temper, without becoming upset or angry, then that is fantastic. That is possible even in this Kali Yuga, Mm-hmm.
Ujú. Adaptarse, ¿no? Es muy fácil con la gente que es amorosa, dulce y linda, pero cuando una persona es obstinada, fuerte, rígida, es difícil. Pero esto va más allá de lo relativo, ¿no? Es como lo trataron a Jesús, por ejemplo, que lo avergonzaron, lo hirieron y todo lo que todos sabemos. ¿Y cómo sería enfrentar una situación así sin enojo? ¿No? ¿Cuál sería, eh, sería la fortaleza, en adaptarse sin enojo? Esa sería la más maravillosa situación.
Yeah. Nakedly shameless. In other words, and the entire world or the entire village or the entire town will say he's a horrible man. And even there, if you can adjust, then, so the energies exist within us. The energies to exist, to adjust within every human being. And that is the energy of the real, you see. That is the energy of the self, you see. He may be subject to all kinds of abuse or torture, but there is a certain fantastic energy that exists within every human being, you see. This energy, Dada has opened up for you and I, all the Mahatmas, and through this simple words of adjustments, you see, adjustments.
Yes. El mundo entero puede decir el mundo entero, este hombre es horrible o cualquier cosa así, pero siempre están las energías del ser, las energías reales, que son muy fuertes. Y Dada abrió esto con la adaptación a las situaciones.
Mhm. Yeah, that's number one. I tell you what, this is, let's take a break, 15 minutes or so.
Ok,
You take your break, have a nice matcha coffee, whatever, and then be back. Huh?
15 minutos de recreo, 15
10,
minutes.
10 minutes, 10
10
minutes,
minutes. 10
10
minutos de
minutos.
recreo y volvemos.
10 minutes.
Gracias. Thank you,
Gracias.
Shuddha.
Okay, thank you. Uh-huh.
Hola Nila, ¿me escuchás? Hola, ¿me escuchas bien, Danila? Gracias,
Sí, sí, te escucho muy bien.
gracias.
Ya.
Yes. Let me see what's in the chat. Okay. So continuing, this um, this is important. This question is important, that if we get along, if we kind of make adjustments with even difficult people, and if we do, in a quote unquote, if we don't stand up for our rights, and we, then then we will be considered a fool, right? I mean, if we let go and, let other people continue to be difficult with us, then people will say, you're a fool, you see?
Ujú.
And,
Mm,
mhm.
Acá preguntan si qué pasa, ¿no? Si dejamos que la gente difícil, nosotros no nos mantenemos, no respondemos, tenemos que aceptar que nos llamen tontos o...
So
Sí.
you say, should we fight, and should, if he is a difficult person, then you be difficult with him, don't let go of your ground, or do we
Ujú,
just kind of let go, you see? So it becomes smooth. So now the other Sri gives a very phenomenal answer here. It's a very big answer because we can learn this from our own experience. You see, this being smooth and adjustable uh, is an earning, is an earning of many lifetimes. You see, this thing
ujú.
is not just something that you can cultivate.
Estamos con Shuddha.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Si nosotros con una persona que es obstinada, cerrada, vamos a pelear, vamos a terminar caídos en el pasto. Y si podemos ajustarnos, adaptarnos a esto, vamos a estar ganando, teniendo mucha más ganancia a través de las vidas.
Yeah, this, when he mentions lifetimes, you now know. This is again the reference to life after life after life. You have made a certain earning. You see, it's a learning. It's a learning through experience. That
Mm,
if you kick a door or kick a wall, it's only going to hurt your own foot. Yes.
mm. Todas estas ganancias que nosotros hemos acumulado a través de vidas y vidas, es como pegarle una pared o una puerta con nuestro pie y vamos a ser los únicos lastimados.
Yeah, the other Shri has compared all of this. People who are very, very obtuse, obstinate, difficult, hurting other people. These are walls, you see. These are walls, you see. They're just there. There is no sensitivity. These are actually human beings who have not developed this earning life after life. After this life, they are going to get two more legs and a tail, you see.
Oh. Dice que sí, que estas personas que son tan difíciles y obstinadas son como paredes, y que no tienen desarrollo y probablemente la próxima vida tengan cuatro piernas y cola.
Yeah. This is this awareness. And the other she says, in trying to tussle or kind of do a tug of war with such a human being, you will lose what you have earned. You see?
Ujú. Ella dice que si tú te mantienes confrontando a una persona obstinada, lo que vas a hacer va a hacer perder todas tus ganancias.
You see, it's the ego. It's the ego that is looking for this kind of silly, stupid, useless satisfaction. You see?
Este es el
Yeah.
ego el que está buscando satisfacción en estas cosas estúpidas y sin ganancias.
Yeah. Well, where does it lead you? Every conflict, every resistance is creating more interference. Every resistance is creating more interference and more interference. This is not the way of the Lord. This is not the way of all the lords of that have walked the face of our earth with Jesus, Mahavir, Krishna, Dada Bhagwan. No, this is not the way.
Ujú. Cuanto mayor resistencia tenemos, mayor interferencia surge. Y todos los maestros que han caminado por este planeta, Jesús, Mahavir, Krishna, Dada, han estado enseñándonos esto.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. This, these words are not for, these words are not for the world who have not got some kind of an earning from previous life, you see. You know, You give a book, you give a book to, this book adjusts everywhere to the average person in Argentina or in Spain. He will not understand this. He will say, yeah, it's nice, but it will not enter him. It will not touch him. You see, this is because he does not have this earning. He doesn't have this understanding. He looks like human being, but he's really an animal in a human shape. You see, very little understanding, very little internal development.
Ujú. Estas palabras no son para este mundo que no tuvo ninguna ganancia con respecto al conocimiento. Por ejemplo, si tienes el libro Adáptate y se lo das a alguien, algunas personas no lo entenderían, no lo tocarían ni lo moverían en lo más mínimo, porque no tienen el entendimiento, ¿no? Son animales con forma humana.
Yeah, such a human being is more likely to just kind of buy not one gun, but two guns or three guns and listen to people who says you need, the gun is the only answer, you see.
Ujú. Hay personas que tienen una, dos, tres armas y solo van a estar escuchando que la única solución posible son las armas.
This is a very amazing paragraph, you see.
Este es un párrafo
Yeah.
asombroso.
So, if you realize that the ability to adjust with anyone, any human being, is really an earning, it is your inner treasure, you see, that nobody can take away. Only you yourself, out of stupid interference, is going to lose it by trying to fight with a bull. You can't win, you see, and on the contrary, your ego will plan all kinds of also already so much interference results have developed within you that it will take a long time for it to heal, you see.
Ujú. Dice que la habilidad de tener, o sea, poder adaptarte es una habilidad y esto tener un tesoro interno que absolutamente nadie te puede quitar. Solo la propia estupidez de pelear es como pelear con un toro y así vamos a estar perdiendo todo lo que hemos ganado.
Go around looking at the faces of these people who have become very old, you know, uh, in the nursing homes or around you, very old people. They are bankrupt. They have fought the world, but they got nothing inside. I'm not talking of everyone, but majority who are very dissatisfied with the world, complaining about other human beings, you see, complaining about never satisfied. This is a horrible situation to be in. Being a human being, their life has passed, nothing has been achieved. Dada says they are bankrupt, you see.
Yes. So sad. Dice que, por ejemplo, mires las caras en estas personas adultas que están en una casa de cuidado, ¿no? Y puedes ver sus caras y sus caras de insatisfacción. Estas personas perdieron esta vida y están con tanta insatisfacción, quejándose de todo, y así perdieron la vida.
You and I have the ability to see something beautiful even in old people, when we approach an old person, with this view of what duality, ich bin reine Seele and ich bin soy ama pura, you see.
Yes.
Even something wonderful happens. Your energies are different. Your aura is different. There is a certain sphere of your aura that doesn't touch you, and the other part, it touches the other human being. You see, they they can they can feel it. They can sense it.
Ujú. La forma de acercarnos, ¿no?, a esta dualidad en una situación con personas adultas, es desde el alma pura, ¿no? Y nuestra energía y nuestro aura es diferente, y esta energía y aura toca a la otra persona.
Yeah. Yeah. You see, now this one here, uh, it, it talks about innocence of a child, you see. Nirdosh, you see. Flawless as a child. A child is not considered to have any faults, you know. It's natural. You see a 2-year-old or 3-year-old bothering the mother or people around, but it's so natural, running around, just touching, trying to say Baba, trying to speak to you, yeah, yeah,
Podemos ver la inocencia de un niño, ¿no? De 2, 3 años, que va corriendo, va intentando hablar y llamar a la mamá, la abuela. Y lo hace de una forma tan natural y no tienen absolutamente ninguna falta.
yeah. You see a little boy or a girl in a little uh, pram, that's a little thing that mother carries him around inside, and he's sitting there lying, is looking at the world so amazingly and naturally. You smile at him, he smiles, you see.
Ujú.
And,
Y podemos ver una madre que está cargando a su hijo en brazos y sale a la calle y observa el mundo, con una forma tan natural, y si le sonríes, él te sonríe, y lo hace de una forma muy, muy natural.
mhm, yeah, and that is how the other is making us, changing us even in our old age. As we become old, as every day passes, we become more mature. But maturity is the ability to uh, see see it as it is, without opinions, you see. Without
Ujú,
opinions. When I mention seeing the terrible face, the the sad faces of old human beings, I'm just saying it from the general viewpoint. But for us, yeah, there is nothing but compassion for such human beings who have spent 70, 80, 90 years of their life. They have seen wars and destruction, and now they're coming to the end of their life almost. But we have the chit prasannata. The chit prasannata, let me write this down here. The chit prasannata. We have the chit prasannata of the amapura that we are, In other words, chit means the chit prasannata. I need to write something here. Chit prasannata. Chit prasannata means the joy, the natural joy of the chit that is pure, you see, and without kashais, and all of this obtuseness and of fighting nature, inability to adjust, etc., is prevents this chit prasannata without kashaya. Okay, so chit prasannata I've given you. We have this chit prasannata. So wherever a Mahatma goes, there is a fantastic amount of beautiful energy, you see. Mm?
ujú. Yes. Yes, it is.
Mhm. You,
Em, Podemos ver que cuando decimos madurez nos estamos refiriendo a a tener la madurez es poder ver a las personas libres de faltas, ver sin opiniones. Y a veces vemos a personas grandes, ¿no? Que vemos sus caras tristes, y esto lo está diciendo desde el punto de vista relativo, ¿no? Y que ven tantas destrucciones estando al final de su vida. Pero si nosotros los podemos ver con el chit, que es con la dicha natural del alma pura y sin calláis, entonces estamos llevando mucha felicidad, mucho bienestar, ¿no? Y esto es cuando la energía de los Mahatmas, ¿no? Que llevan esta
Yeah.
dicha a todos lados.
Yeah, there is nothing obstructing the Mahatma from inside. See? Nothing obstructing a Mahatma and his or her vision from inside. Nothing. Nothing. It is this nonsense of the intellect and the stuff that has gathered from previous lives that is just coming out. But the chit prasannata is a very beautiful thing. It's the chit that has entered the dimension of joy and beauty of everything around, including the fellow human being, including the lady on the street walking with her dog. You see, it is your light. It is your and my light that is enabling us to see it this way. See.
Yes. Los Mahatmas van y absolutamente nada los obstruye, porque por dentro no hay intelecto y no hay cargas pasadas, y si hay cargas las podemos ver cómo están descargando. Y el chit está lleno de disfrute y de belleza, y así vemos todo. Y esta es tu luz, esta es tu luz la que te permite ver así.
Mhm. Yeah, we know the culprit. We know the mischief maker, and the mischief maker is the intellect within, you see. But that intellect has no power in comparison and in the presence of our grand light of the self, the illumination of self, the light that I am, you see. And that intellect shuts up, you see.
Y nosotros sabemos del intelecto, pero el intelecto no tiene absolutamente ningún poder con la luz del ser, con la luz que somos.
Antonia, you understand, my dear? Can you? Yes. That means Patricia is translating beautifully these words of Dada. That's wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah. So, in these few words, Dada is telling us so much, so much. These are not ordinary sentences. These are These are the sentences, these are the words of the one who has come after 1,000,000 years to deliver this world from suffering and horrible sufferings, you see.
Estas no son cualquier palabra, no son cualquier oraciones. Estas oraciones vienen de aquel que vino 1,000,000 de veces a esta vida para traernos este conocimiento. Oh, please, I will ask you in which page we finish, we end, or we are now for
Right.
the next.
Yeah,
Please.
we are on page 41 of the
Okay.
PDF. Okay, this is page 41 of 87 pages in this PDF, 325S. Can you see that here?
Yeah. Yes, yeah, I listen to you. I listen.
Yeah, right. No, that's fine. That's where we are. We're just reviewing what we just started with today because it has got so many details here, you see.
Sí.
Yeah. So now, when he says, Dada, you were straightforward, not difficult from the very beginning. Is that why you do not interfere with anyone? And the other gives a different answer. You see?
Acá le preguntan a Dada si él era como si él era así desde el principio, y acá Dada contesta.
And so Dada says, he goes straight into the interference rather than answering the question that I was straight from the beginning. He says, when you interfere with other, the first thing that happens is that you are the first victim. You see, it's very similar to the fault is of the sufferer, in a different way. But, when you interfere with anyone, with others, and the interference is of multiple types. One is interference is through thoughts about a person that turns negative, and then you get involved in your own thought and you say, now how do you deal with this man or this woman? Now something is going on within you that is not right. I mean, it's not a file. Why do you even have to pay any attention to it? Because she or he becomes a file when he is in front of you. Front of you means maybe calls you or asks you, or when the file is there, then it is called a file. When the file is not there and you are just thinking about that, then it is not a file. But you see, you need to understand the difference.
Yes. Yes. Dice Dada, ¿no? Como que trae, cuando dice que cuando tú interfieres, la primera víctima es tuya por interferir, ¿no? Y esto trae el recuerdo, ¿no? De que la falta es el que sufre, son los pensamientos negativos, y te involucras en cómo poder manejar cómo poder manejar a esta persona, y esta persona ni siquiera está delante tuyo, así que no tienes que prestarle absolutamente atención porque ni siquiera es un file, pero cuando está delante tuyo sí es un file, y ahí es donde tienes que adaptarte.
Mhm. So he does answer, and he says, I understood that I will be the first one to fall victim. Fall victim means to be the sufferer of the interference, you see.
Ujú.
And
Entonces dice que él entendió que la interferencia con otros lo único que iba a hacer es que él cayera, fuera la primer víctima en caer
now
por la
what is,
interferencia.
yeah, so interfere is defined as finding faults with someone else, the other.
Ajá.
That is the
I-
interference, you see.
Interferir es ver las faltas en los demás.
Yeah. This, in other words, your fault is you are seeing in Akram Vignan as a Vignani, as somebody who has entered into this science with this vision, the true vision. You are slipping and you are seeing him as the doer, her as the doer. She's like this, he's doing this. Okay. Uh, now, that's interference because you have just slipped from your beautiful, absolutely beautiful, untouchable state.
Ujú.
Mm.
Las interferencias, las interferencias ocurren cuando estamos dormidos, ¿no? Que empezamos a decir, ¿qué es lo que está haciendo? ¿Qué me hiciste? Y tenemos todas esas clases de opiniones sobre los demás. Y ahí es donde nos salimos del maravilloso lugar del ser. Sí.
This, the biggest sentence of today is this one, you see. When you interfere with other, you will be the first victim. Eh,
La gran oración de hoy, lo más grande es esto: si cuando tú interfieres con otros, vas a ser el primero en caer.
when you shoot somebody, this is not a physical shooting, but when you shoot somebody, the first bullet will hit you. This is how the first bullet will hit you.
Cuando tú disparas a alguien, la primera bala te disparará a ti.
Because you just slipped out of the Agna. The Agna is the eternal truth. The Agna is forever. The Agna is Gnan. This is how it is. This is how it is. The other stuff is temporary. It may make you feel better. Oh, see, I shot him, or I did this, or I took care of him or her. I got back to her, put her in her position, But hey, the Agna is the reality of our existence. This is who we really are. You are not Luz. You are not Antonio. You're not Antonia. You're not Julia. You see? Yeah. Julia is a false label,
Yes. Dice que las agnas son la eterna verdad, es el Gnan, y así es, esta es la verdad. El resto es todo absolutamente temporal. El decir, bueno, lo que hizo esto, lo puse en su lugar, eso es relativo. Y eso es lo que nos hace salir de las agnas. Entonces tú no eres Antonio, tú no eres Luz, tú no eres Julia. Esas son falsas etiquetas.
Yeah. This is what our Gnani Purush realized first. This is what he has discovered, and from lifetime after lifetime of understanding, he's giving it to us, and he was applying for himself. He said, that is why I practice that from the very beginning. No interference, no dako. You see?
Yeah.
No dako. If there is more salt, if Kiraba has put too much salt in the soup, no dako. No dako. Just add little extra water,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Esto es lo que descubrió nuestro querido Dadashri, es lo que él descubrió a lo largo de vida tras vida, y él lo aplicó y él nos lo dio a nosotros. Y es no dako, no querer agregarle más sal a la sopa, no querer agregarle más agua. Es perfecto todo.
Yeah, it's a hot afternoon. Dada is being driven in an ambassador car, those old Indian cars, without air conditioning. And all of a sudden, the driver says, Dada, we're out of gas or something. Dada will just say, is that so? He'll say, is that so? Is that so? He doesn't say, you should have checked. You should have checked or something. No, nothing. Is that so? That's how it is.
Dice que Dada iba en un auto, en un bus, y el chofer le dice, se para y dice, no tenemos más combustible. Y Dada lo mira y dice, ¿y eso es todo?
Yeah. So that's how it is. When you say, is that so? Then that means that is how it is.
Y eso quiere decir, eso es todo, es lo que es.
Yeah. So Shuddhatma Bhagwan, wonderful to be with you all. Yes. Huh?
Thank you, beautiful, thank you.
Highest namaskar. Highest namaskar.
Highest namaskar.
Thank you so much,
Yay.
Shuddha. Thank you.
Gracias, Suda.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you,
Jai
thank you,
Sachidanand.
Marcella, for trying. Jai Sachidanand, Etelvina, Gonzalo, Elena, and Luz,
Jai
yes?
Sachidanand.
Jai
Gracias.
Jai Satchitanand.
Moni, Gabi,
Thank you.
Kimochi, and
Jai Sachidanand.
Claudia, and everyone, yes? And everyone. Jai Sachidanand, Shuddhatma.
Jai
Jai
Satchitanand.
Satchitanand.
Jai
Gracias,
Satchitanand.
Patricia.
Thank you so much.
Gracias, Patri. Jai Sachidanand.
Gracias a
Jai
todos,
Satchitanand.
gracias a todos.
Gracias a todos.
Jai Sachidanand.
Gracias, Patricia.